Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Girl, pour the wine. No, the big glass. Thank you. I need you to just listen for a minute because I feel like I am slowly losing my mind, and if I don't say this out loud to someone who isn't her, I'm going to scream. You know I love her. You know she is my person. But oh my God, I am getting the ick. And I hate myself for it, but it's there, festering in the back of my throat like bad sushi. Let me back up. You know our story. It was that whirlwind, out-of-state meet cute, like something out of a quirky indie movie. It was romantic, it was intense, and yes, I know, lesbians move fast. We've been living together for 2.5 years out of the 3 we've been together. And for the most part, it's magic, I'm not saying that lightly. She has supported me through literal hell. When I was sick, when I was having those emotional breakdowns last year, she was my rock. She is kind, she is funny, we have this deep, soul-level connection that makes me feel safe. She is the love of my life. But love isn't paying the rent, is it? Here is the tea, and it is scalding. She has absolutely no direction in life. None. Zero. And I am terrified that if I stay with her, I am anchoring myself to a sinking ship. Look at me, you know my history. I have been grinding since I was 14 years old. I've been financially independent since I was 19. I learned early on that if I want something, I have to work for it. I don't have a safety net. If I fall, I hit the concrete. Right now, I am busting my ass. I went back to school, I'm working part-time, I'm chasing government grants like a bloodhound, and I'm running that creative side hustle, trying to scale it up for the new year. I live in a very high cost of living area. I am scraping by, barely, but I have goals. I have a vision board, for God's sake, and then, there's her. She is 33 years old, 6 years older than me, but sometimes I feel like I'm dating a teenager. She is an incredibly talented artist, but she refuses to accept that talent is cheap. Everyone in this city is talented. She has no hustle. Recently, she finally got a job after years of pleading. It's a menial side hustle. She works 10 hours a week. 10. So how does she survive? Mommy and Daddy. They have been bankrolling her lifestyle for over a decade. They send her money and she just takes it. She doesn't seem embarrassed that she's a woman in her 30s fully dependent on her parents. And I look at that and I get the ick. It's so unattractive. It's the complacency. I've tried to talk to her. God, have I tried. Every time she listens, she agrees. She says, "You're right, babe, I need to get it together." She vows to start hustling. I get my hopes up. And then nothing. She sits on the couch. She scrolls on her phone. It's the follow-through that kills me. Sometimes she actually gets a lead for a gig and she just won't email them back. She squanders opportunities because she lacks the executive function to just send a damn email. It makes me want to scream. Speaking of executive function, we are both neurodivergent. I get it. But look at me. I am masking, I am coping, I am forcing myself to function in a capitalist society because I have to survive. I feel bad criticizing her for her brain chemistry, but at a certain point, you have to take responsibility for your own life, right? The house stuff is resentment fueled too. I carry the mental load because messiness stresses me out. But generally, she's just chaotic. And I'm terrified of what this means for the future. I want to emigrate. I want a better quality of life. But do you know how hard it is to move countries? You need skills. You need income. How is her resume going to look to an immigration officer? Painted sometimes. I feel like if we try to leave, she is going to be dead weight that I have to drag across the border. And then there's the kid thing. I want babies. But the thought of having a child with her right now sends me into a full-blown panic attack. How can we raise a child when I'm the only one with any financial sense? I can't be the only breadwinner and the one managing the household. I can't have a baby with someone who is essentially a giant baby herself financially. I read this quote. The biggest financial decision you will ever make is who you marry. And it hit me like a punch to the gut. It's so confusing because when we aren't talking about money, we are perfect. She is my best friend. If I leave her, I am losing the person who knows my heart better than anyone. But if I stay, am I sacrificing my future? I feel like a horrible capitalist monster for caring this much about work ethic. But resistance doesn't pay for diapers. Every time I see her sleeping in while I'm logging into my classes, I feel that ick rising up. I look at her and I don't see a partner, I see a dependent. So I'm torn. Do I push her harder? Or am I delaying the inevitable? One path is lonely but stable. The other path is filled with love but feels like quicksand. The thought of breaking up makes me ill, but the thought of living like this forever makes me want to die. Tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me I'm not a bad person for wanting a partner who can actually partner.